Welcome into Seattle Seahawks today. Some early morning breaking news as the Seahawks have landed Damon "Snacks" Harrison. They did exactly what many of us thought they were going to and what we all thought they should do. Now, we'll break down the whole practice squad versus active roster thing, but as I'm sure you guys know, the Harrison to the Seahawks links had been out there for, at this point, it had been months. There was he's going to visit in week 2 or maybe week 3, and then on Tuesday, he finally gets in town and is able to go through all of the COVID-19 protocols, and some of those are still actually ongoing, which we'll discuss as well. But Harrison was set to visit with the Green Bay Packers today on Wednesday. The Seahawks did exactly what they were supposed to do. Find a way to make sure that player that you really, really want on your team, in whatever capacity it looks like, doesn't get out of the building, doesn't leave for his visit. Because if he does, you might not ever get to talk to him again. But that's what the Seahawks were able to do. They got Harrison on the roster and on the practice squad. Now, they did something very similar about a week ago with one Damarious Randall. Now, I do want to make a general overarching note here, as has been pointed out by others. The process for adding free agents is complicated right now. The NFL has changed their requirements due to COVID. You now need 5 days of negative tests to be able to get into the building. Now, my suspicion is that Harrison started that process over the weekend, and that's why he was able to agree to a deal. But with, the Patriots having more issues, other teams, the Titans still having issues, by the way, there might be a bit of a delay in terms of this deal becomes official. But this is the plan. It's going to happen. And at some point this year, as long as Harrison is actually in good game shape, at some point, he'll be able to make, I think, a significant impact for this team on the defensive line. So grade the signing of Damon Harrison, A, B, C, D, or F. I'll let you guys get your thoughts in, especially if you get hit with the ad break here on YouTube. I'm giving it an A. I absolutely love this deal. It's the practice squad. There's no downside. This is the pinned comment on today's video, by the way, so head on down and get your votes in. Now, the defensive line for Seattle, we've talked a lot about the edge spots. I still don't love it, but we'll focus on the interior bodies. Poona Ford, Jarran Reed getting most of the snaps there. I remain a big fan of Poona Ford. He had no business not being drafted out of Texas. He's been a great one technique for you. Jarran Reed's been a little bit of a disappointment. And Damon Harrison, at this stage of his NFL career, is not going to be an elite pass rusher. He's never been one. He used to be one of the outright best run stoppers in the entire NFL. He kind of regressed a bit in 2019. He also said, by the way, he'll be playing at a slightly lower weight this year, which when you were like 350, that's still okay. You're still going to be a good run stopper there. I don't think he's going to be prime Damon Harrison. But if you're looking for a rotational one technique or nose guard who can help you, who can contribute early and often, especially on rundowns, at this stage in the season, you don't find those guys available in October. But that's where we're at for Seattle. I'm a big fan of that pickup. Now, I'm not sure if Damon Harrison will actually help at all in Week 5 or heck, even Week 6, but I still think the Seahawks are going to win against the Minnesota Vikings. So, we got a special deal for you guys. If you put down $100 with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, and you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Seahawks125 to do it, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus. And if you place a bet on the Seahawks to cover against the Vikings and they don't do it, I will Venmo you guys $50. I firmly believe this is going to be the first Seahawks team in franchise history to start the year 5-0. We've done this twice so far, and I've been right both times because the Seahawks just are covering and beating teams pretty easily. So head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Seahawks125. It is only available for new BetUS customers, and if you need some help, email us at Seahawks@chatsports.com. Now back to Snacks and Harrison here, or for Seattle, I should say, excuse me. I think there will be a acclimation adjustment, what I call the normal training camp phase for Damon Harrison. I don't think he's going to be someone that you immediately, promote for game day from the practice squad and start him on the defensive line. You can do that, I guess, if you want, but my suspicion is Seattle will approach this more as a long-term plan because they're able to. They're 4-0. They don't have to panic and rush Damon Harrison into the lineup. It's a good pickup. It just might not be an overnight, instantaneous addition for this team, especially since they can keep on the practice squad for as long as they want with today's NFL rules. Now, if you want the very best Seahawks coverage on YouTube, hit that big red button and subscribe today. The Seattle Seahawks Today here has been the fastest growing channel in chat sports history. That's how good you guys have been here. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe today. Now, we mentioned the interior. I did want to spend a little bit of time here about the edge guys. LJ Collier can kick inside. I'll be honest, I've been pretty disappointed by him throughout his entire NFL career. Benson Mayowa is getting some pressure. It hasn't converted to sacks yet, but that might happen in the very near future. Demontre Moore has been a nice kind of mid-late season, or I should say mid to late camp and early season signing. Alton Robinson has been a pleasant surprise as well, but Rasheem Green's on IR. I have no idea, we discussed this yesterday, if Darrell Taylor's even going to play this season for the Seahawks. I don't trust their pass rush right now. Damon Harrison helps you stop the run, isn't really going to help you against the pass rush, though. So who else should the Seattle Seahawks sign? We've talked a lot about Clay Matthews. Maybe you want to get wild and go trade for someone like a Ryan Kerrigan. The other edge rushing options are not great at this point. But if I'm Seattle, I'm going to continue to look for moves that can help me get a little bit closer to making what is a very clear Super Bowl favorite into one of the top 1 or 2 Super Bowl favorites. I think they have that ability. The offense is cooking. It's the defense that needs a little bit more help. Speaking of cooking, we have a new t-shirt available for you guys. Do you smell what Russ is cooking? You can get a t-shirt here. Head over to chatsports.com/RussCook. It'll take you right to this t-shirt in the Seahawks color scheme, by the way, because the Seahawks finally listened. The Seahawks Twitter, social media, the nerds, they successfully bullied an NFL organization into throwing the football more, and it's worked wonders for the organization. So go get your Russ is Cooking t-shirt today at chatsports.com/RussCook. As a reminder, I will put that link in the comments, and I'll put it in the description as well.